Hello everyone, John Odom, drum set percussion teacher here with Groove with Passion drum lessons. Today I want to go ahead and do a video to demonstrate how to play the worship song called Hosanna. Okay, this is a song that is actually done by Hillsong United. Brooke Lighterwood, I believe she's a worship leader with Hillsong United, actually wrote this song. A couple things about this song. The tempo for it is listed at 77 beats per minute. Of course, you can deviate a little bit with that, depending on what your worship leader, what tempo you want to play it at. 77 beats per minute is a moderately slow tempo, so it's not really super slow, but you have to be careful you don't speed that up. Even when I'm playing this song in our church, I have to be careful of that. It's easy to have a tendency to speed this up too much if you're not careful. Now, one thing I recommend when you're learning songs like this, and this can be for any song, not just worship songs, but any song but an idea or a tip that can help you learn the song, to learn the structure of the song, to understand where if the song has an intro, verse 1, chorus, verse 2 if it has one, a bridge if it has one. But where those transitions are is to print up the lyrics. That's what I do when I play on Sunday morning in my church, and then I just take notes on the lyric sheets is what I do. Everybody's got their own way of learning and working on music, so whatever works for you. But that's usually what I do. So Hosanna, also too, where to find the lyrics. You can actually go to ccli.com. CCLI stands for Christian Copyright Licensing International. You do have to have like a username and password to log in, which if you play in a church, your worship leader should have that. Also too, a little easier to get to the lyrics for this song is if you go to genius.com, click on the little magnifying glass, the search box, and type in Hosanna by Hillsong. You can pull up these lyrics, print them up if you need to. So the intro for this song, it depends on the version you're doing. This is actually the live version I'm going to demonstrate today. This is the version we do in my church. However, if you're doing the studio version, the recorded version, you might start with verse 1. Okay, this version actually starts with the chorus, and it's the chorus quiet. You're not coming in right away with the groove. So let me go ahead and get this started here. And this is going to start with verse 1. I'm sorry, with the chorus, but it's going to be quiet. So you always got to consider and think about dynamics when you're playing. The dynamics for the song, if it's a softer, quieter part of the song, then you as the drummer has got to be quiet with the rest of your band or worship team. When you build up volume, build up energy, you all build up together. So let's get this started here. Hosanna. Play a little bit of cymbal here, maybe just quiet cymbals. Very light. Right there, you can come in with a crash on beat 1. She repeats. She says, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna in the highest. That's on beat 1. I actually play a fill coming in there. Let me demonstrate that real quick. That fill comes in, she says, Hosanna in the highest. Right, the first time, 1, 2, 3, 4. She says, 1, 2, 3. When she's saying Hosanna in the highest, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And go right into your groove. So The fill gives it more energy, but if you don't feel comfortable playing that fill at the beginning, just come in with a crash on one with your bass drum. Once you crash on one, you're in your groove. Get to your hi-hat with your, get to your hi-hat, whichever hand you play, left or right, and start with your eighth notes, and then you're playing your groove there. Watch your tempo. Don't speed up too much. Don't speed up at all, actually. Keep it nice and steady and even, and really listen to your fellow musicians. Listen to your vocalist, your worship leader, whoever you're playing this with. Watch that tempo. So here we go. We've done the first course quietly. Now we're getting into verse 1, okay? So here we go. Back it up a little bit. Swell. So it goes verse 1, verse 2, and then they go, the people sing, the people sing, people sing, people sing. It says Hosanna. Okay, swell, you kind of cut out there. Now, one thing that, I don't know, my worship leader likes, and it helps your bandmates play the hi-hat on 2 and 4. So you do that swell, play that swell. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That helps them stay on tempo. Okay? So that's something that you want to ask about, or your worship leader may already have you doing that. And not just in Christian music in general. Okay? A lot of times bands will do that. Rock, country, funk, whatever genre, but we are the timekeepers, and so that can help your guitars, keyboardists, etc., your lead singer, stay on time. All right, so this is coming in back into the chorus for the second time. You break it down here. Okay, you're not playing a full groove through here to give it some dynamics. Okay, so I'll back it up a little bit. Verse 3. I'm playing a basic bass, snare, bass snare pattern. I play it more complex than this, but I don't want to make it too complex for anyone watching this, because then if you can't play it that way, it won't help you. But let me just back it up a little bit, and I'll just kind of give you an idea of what you can work towards to play it, to give it some 16th ghost notes on the snare drum. you can really kind of spice this groove up, and it makes it fun to play without over complicating it, right? So let me back it up a little bit here. Let's see. Part here, you just finished the chorus again. There's an 8-measure instrumental part. Worship leader may or may not want to do this instrumental. It's pretty cool, so it's a good idea to do it because it gives the song some life, some personality, some energy. Your energy level here is pretty high right now. For the instrumental, but you need to keep track of your measures. So the way I count measures, I'll just kind of show you how this goes here, and I'll turn it down a little bit. So it's an 8-measure instrumental. Now, commonly in music, your musical phrases, like that's a musical phrase, commonly, not always, but commonly they're 4 or 8 measures long. So that's an 8-measure instrumental. And there's different ways to count measures, but sometimes we need to do that, okay? I always stress counting in all my lessons, so if you don't know how to count music, look up some information on that, or if you're taking lessons with a teacher, any instrument, your music teacher should have you counting. So anyway, we do the 8-measure instrumental. Now for the bridge of the song is different from the verses in the chorus. Your guitars, keyboardists, etc., they're playing a different melodic pattern, different melody at that point. So we can play something different too. So what I do on this song, and I believe I actually did on this recording also, this live recording, is I play a sizzle hi-hat for the bridge. How do you play a sizzle hi-hat? Well, and this will work whether you have an acoustic kit like this one or an electric kit. But what you do is you slightly raise the top cymbal. Okay, now I know a lot of times an electric kit, it's just a pad. I have an electric kit too, so I know how this works. But you can raise your foot pedal just slightly on your electric kit. This should work. On an acoustic kit, the top cymbal, you should see a little bit of just a small opening between the top and bottom cymbal, right? There's your service. And depending on how much you open it, and changing just a fraction of an inch changes the sound, because it changes how much the cymbals are touching each other, right? So when you get that sizzle hi-hat, what that sizzle hi-hat does, it gives you a different sound effect. You can close hi-hat. You can still play eighth notes there. It actually elevates your sound. Okay, that is one common way in music where if you're playing a groove, an eighth note rock groove, and you want to get a different sound. If you're going to say from verse to chorus, this is one way to do it. It's different from your ride cymbal. Okay, so it's just one of the cool sound effects we can get on the drum kit. I like doing it for the bridge because again, it does give the bridge its own personality. Okay, so Back it up a little bit and we'll go through that instrumental. Make sure I get back far enough here. Okay, here we go. There, when they get to the end of the bridge, the last line is, as I walk from earth into eternity, they bring that volume back down. So all we have to do is close our hi-hat. You've been playing Sizzle, you just drop your foot, okay? And it automatically brings your volume down. Because you're getting ready to bring it down, actually pretty much cut out, and then you're getting ready to crescendo back up as you go back into the chorus. So let me back it up just a little bit to demonstrate that. Snare drum, floor tom, and hi-hat. And it'll depend on your worship leader again. See, I can give you general ideas, but each worship team, each worship leader might want to do a little bit different because there are some.
Why do we sign every Stearns and Foster map?
Sorry about that. There are a couple different ways to do that. You might want to you can certainly just bring it down at the end, make it very worshipful, and just play light cymbals there again. So this song's got some really good dynamics. One of the challenges is to keep the tempo steady. That's always a challenge. But to not speed it up. There can be a tendency to speed this up, especially when you start to build the energy. Getting back to that crescendo real quick, as you build it and go into the, from the instrumental into the bridge, No, actually, I'm sorry, from the bridge. Well, when we bring it down after the bridge, bring it down to the chorus, and then build it back up to go back into the chorus. A common way, not the only way, but a common way we do crescendos, we can play crescendos between the snare drum, the bass drum, and floor tom. Okay, if you're going to play those three, you got to start soft because this is a long crescendo. So you actually got to start real quiet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and those are eighth notes. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1. So you slowly increase the distance, the height of your sticks over your snare and floor tom. You slowly increase the distance your bass drum pedal is moving. It's a little tricky to do. If you don't feel comfortable playing your bass drum with that, that's definitely something to work on, because in music you're going to need to play crescendos. If you're going to be a worship drummer, you're going to play quite a few crescendos because crescendos are very common in worship music. But that's something you want to get nice and even. So also we have to, just like when you're playing an eighth note groove, with your crescendo, eighth notes has to be even. We can't speed that up. But it's so important to be able to do that well because it's really cool, a cool effect to be able to build the song to give it energy. So I hope that this helps anyone who watches this video. Worship drumming is near and dear to my heart. I play in my church every Sunday. I've been at my current church now for 6 years, actually. This is Trinity Assembly of God, which is over Chilliota, Florida, close to Oviedo, and here in East Orlando. So I love being able to play in church on Sunday mornings. It's pretty awesome. You have to be versatile to be a worship drummer because we play a lot of different kinds of music, different styles, different grooves, different tempos. So it does take, it is a whole skill set in and of itself. That's actually its own style, worship drumming, like if you play jazz, if you play rock, if you play R&B, funk, whatever. Because actually in worship drumming, you kind of play a little bit of each genre, believe it or not. It's all kind of mixed in, which is pretty cool. So for lessons, drum lessons with me, I am currently enrolling some more new students for lessons. I do teach at Orlando Fine Arts Academy. We are a music and art school over in Lake Nona, Florida. Okay, or Lake Nona, South Orlando, but it's in Lake Nona. And we are enrolling new students there for most musical instruments, not just drums, but if you're interested in piano, guitar, and other instrument, we are currently enrolling students. We have dance classes, we have art classes, there's a musical theater class. We have a lot of great programs at Orlando Fine Arts Academy. Also, I do teach with lessons in your home, okay, where we can do either in-home lessons and also teach online right here. And then I also do teach students privately as well. So if you're interested in drum lessons, percussion lessons, please feel free to contact me. The contact information will be on the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and take care. Be safe.